In this podcast episode, I'm going to talk to you about why it's important to stay consistent over the long run. This is the Detailing Business Class podcast. And good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to another podcast episode. In this one, we're going to talk about how and why consistency always wins and what that kind of means in your business and really your life on just continuing to do things over and over until you reach your desired results, whatever that may mean. It's a very broad topic, but I will kind of put more focus on it in your detailing business. So let's go ahead. I have my talking points here on my computer. I will reference them just to make sure I stay on track, as I, oftentimes either go on a tangent or I just completely forget what I'm talking about and then I have to restart because I literally forget mid sentence of what I was talking about. So the reason why I brought this topic up is because I was posting a few stories on it on my Instagram, which you should be following me at Detail Groove, on why I don't care about getting any of these viral hits on Instagram or YouTube, or why I don't care about not that I don't care, but I don't put any value or any emphasis on like, hey, we have to work on high-end vehicles, or we have to do like like paint correction and ceramic coatings. That's, like, I don't put a value on that or a lot of value in it, because a lot of times it's more of a nice to have. It's more of a like, this is it would be cool to have this, but it doesn't have like an actual impact on what you're actually doing. So that's how this topic came about. It's a bit more like, not like, because usually when I give you advice, it's more like, hey, like, you should do SEO. This is how you do Instagram. This is how it's a more direct line of advice, which this one is more like, high level overview, kind of big picture, more like principle, more than like, actionable advice. But, it's always the more strategic, high level things that are much more impactful than just telling you, hey, go do, search engine optimization, or hey, go do, Google ads. So let's go ahead and get started. So, I have my talking points. I'll read them out loud, and then I will just kind of dive deeper into those. So, don't worry about viral hits or hyper growth. Focus on steady, consistent growth. So if I post a video and it gets 80,000 views, that's great. If I post the next video and it only gets 8,000 views, that's great. I'm going to continue to post more videos. And this is applicable for whether it's on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, to where, like, every time you post a video, you want it to do very well. You want it to hit, 10,000, 40,000, 100,000, 500,000. Like, you want those numbers every single time. And some channels definitely do garner those views on almost every post, right? Again, well, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. But the problem becomes when, like, you post something and, like, let's say the last 4 videos you've gotten, 65,000 views. Let's say on Instagram, you've gotten 65,000 views, right? And you're like, oh man, things are going so well. Like, I guess my posts are so good, and it's because I do it like this and like that, and I post it at this time, and I do this. And then on your 4th video, your 5th video, you post it. It's a same style of video. You're expecting it to be like, oh man, this one's definitely gonna take off and almost hit like a, it's gonna take off and hit 500,000. This one has to be the one. And you post it, and it gets 7,000 views. And a lot of times, like, whoa, what am I doing wrong? Am I failing now? Is something changing? Am I shadow banned on Instagram? Am I like, did something happen? Is this a glitch? There's no way I only got 5,000 views. And people will put like a lot of value, a lot of emphasis on like, hey, wait, what happened? No, like, hey, like, where's my streaks? Like, I'm not getting any more views. And the problem with that, though, is that, like, you don't want to. It's better to be consistent over the long haul versus trying to keep a streak going, right? Meaning, like, if the last 4 videos you hit 40,000 per video, and on this one you get 6,000, should you like start freaking out? Should you say, hey, something went wrong? Or is it important to just say, hey, yes, this one's much lower than the others. I don't have control of that, right? You have control of the video, you have control of posting it, but as far as like how it actually goes out into the world, that's kind of out of your hands. So it's like, okay, you know what? That's that wasn't the views that I wanted. Tomorrow I'm gonna post another one, right? And that's the same mentality. Like, that's the mentality I have. So, like, on Instagram, I'll just keep it at Instagram, since more of us post on Instagram than we do on YouTube, because YouTube, there's a lot more hoops to jump, or a lot more hurdles to overcome in order to actually post on YouTube versus posting on Instagram. So for me, like I never pay attention to the views. As far as like not that I don't look at the views, but it's like, hey, if if the last four that I got that I posted had 20,000 or 50 somewhere like let's say 30 to 50,000, right? And then the next one that I post, it's 12,000 views. I don't put any attention to it. I don't say, hey man, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. I'm just gonna keep on posting. I'm gonna stay consistent to the schedule, and just post the next day. Now I don't put it in my head that I'm gonna have a streak. It's like, hey, I'm gonna post 30 reels, which is like Instagram's TikTok version. It's called the Reels. Like I'm gonna post 30 reels in 30 days, and like, hey, oh no, I can't miss today. I can't miss tomorrow because I'm on a streak. I don't worry about streaks because that's not in the grand scheme of things. It's more of a vanity metric. Like a streak means nothing, right? If you just like if you stick to a streak just for the sake of like, oh no, I don't want to miss a day. Well, then it's just you're just being committed to the streak itself, but not consistency over the long run, right? Because it's easy to post, let's say, 30 videos in 30 days, and then get burnt out and say, okay, it's time for a break. Let me, not I'm just gonna post one or two reels per week, and then you just stay at that point, right? So like it's easy to keep a streak going for a short period of time because you're like, okay, like it's a sprint, like this, I'm going all in for these 30 days. But how you should always be thinking about is like, what do I do? How do I keep this consistent over the next 9 months, over the next 18 months, right? So for me personally, and don't get me wrong, it's not bad to have streaks. Like if you're just getting started, or like you just want to kick things off, you're like, hey, 14 days, 14 straight videos, like that makes total sense. But to like for me, I don't look at like I try not to do streaks. I don't try to like be so black and white. It's like I'll just say like, hey, I want to post 3 to 5 videos per week. I'm not saying hey it has to be back to back. I'm not saying it has to be Monday through Friday. It's just 3 to 5 videos per week. And I want to keep that schedule going over the next 9 months. So that's what I mean of like, don't worry on these like viral hits or like these super hyper growth. And there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that I follow that give that advice of, hey, it's like we're glad we were never this like viral sensation, or like it really helped us out that we never had these like big viral hits, because that could have changed the trajectory of our growth over the long run, because we never saw these big spikes. It was always this increment of progress over the last 10 years where we had a few 100,000 views per month, and then it went to a few million, and then we're hitting 10 million, and then we're hitting 50 million per month, and those sound like big numbers. But what I'm getting is like, even with them having a big channel of like what is it, 6 million, 10 million subscribers, they never had like a viral hit. They never were, they didn't have this super hot topic where they were trending and doing this and doing that. It was literally like, hey, we're just posting quality content consistently. And we've been doing this over the last 10 years. And that's what led us to get all these viewers and subscribers and this big old audience. But it wasn't because we were like, every other video, we were amassing this huge, 5 million, 10 million views per video. It was a few 100,000 here, then it went to then it went to like the 300,000, 500,000, then to a million, and then from there we just consistently posted over the long haul. So yeah, so like even them are like, yeah, we're kind of glad that we never had this viral sensation, because then like that could have changed the trajectory of our path of what we posted, of getting too addicted to the numbers. So same thing can be said about business. Like don't think you're gonna start your business and then you're gonna do one I don't know, viral post on Instagram or TikTok or what have you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's gonna blow up my business. Like this post right here that I'm gonna do, oh, it's gonna blow up my business, because 9 out of 10 times it's not. You think that there's one post is gonna do it for you, that there's one before and after, there's one video, there's one car, oh, this one's gonna really do it for you, right? It might be like a high-end vehicle, a celebrity's vehicle, right? A local celebrity vehicle. You're like, yeah, after this guy posts me, or after I do this, oh man, like people are gonna just start following me and reaching out to me for my services. And again, maybe once in a while that happens to someone, but for the most part, you're not gonna get this huge influx of customers or traffic just because this one thing happened. It's usually after this one thing over and over and over and over that you start to see some type of results or progress or change in whatever that you are doing. So whatever you're doing, posting on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube videos, if you're just getting started, it's like, don't just bet on this one thing. It's do this one thing over and over, regardless of what it's telling you, And then over time, that's what's going to build up your foundation and grow your business and everything. Okay, so number two is just my second talking point is watch out for vanity metrics. What you think is important might not actually have an impact on your goals. So on this one, it's more like it's going back to the whole streak thing. Or at least an example is like the streak. Like, does it help to have a streak going? Again, like if you just want to look like a 30 days posting 30 videos because you want to kick things off and you just want to get into the habit of posting, sure. But to say like, oh man, like no, I'm gonna lose. I'm on day 17. I'm gonna lose this streak. No, I can't do this. Is that gonna have like a huge impact if you miss a day? Not really. Like mentally for yourself of like, oh no, like it's a streak. If I break it, it's gonna I'm gonna stop doing it, right? If you have that mentality, it's like okay, like you're not really even building a habit at that point. It's more like this one thing that you want to keep on going for the short while that it's actually running, and then once one thing is over, it's like oh, okay, well I'll go back to one video per week, So it's like don't like watch out for these vanity metrics, and vanity metrics are basically just like metrics that don't really have a direct tie-in back to the goal, right? So for instance, if you're saying if it could be, it could literally be anything, right? So let's say I'm gonna go completely way off topic, right? If you want to get fit and lose weight, right? Let's just say that, and for you, like your primary goal is just to lose weight, right? And a goal that you put for yourself is I want to run a 10-minute mile, right? Now, let's say after 3 months, you're down 30 pounds, right? I'm just making up numbers here. But you didn't hit your 10-minute mile goal, right? Now, if your goal is to just lose, like that's your primary focus is to lose weight, the running the mile thing, it's like that doesn't have a direct attribution to the losing weight goal, right? It's a goal, it's a fitness goal, right? But if your main goal is like, oh, I'm trying to lose 30 pounds and you lost the 30 pounds, but you're like, oh, but I didn't hit my 10-minute mile. It's like, you didn't hit it, but at the same time, if you take this metric away, if you take this entire thing of like wanting to run this mile, you still hit your goal, So it's a lot of things that can be said on your, about your business, right? It's like, if you want to, just get more leads, customers in your business, and you're like, man, my videos aren't getting 10,000 views per video. It's like, okay, well, at this exact point, are you still reaching your goals? Yes. Okay. So then what value does getting, what is the impact of going from, 2,000 views per video to 10,000? How does that help you reach your goal? Right. Because a lot of us get stuck on the numbers. That's why going back to my previous point, like, that's why I don't care about these viral sensations or these big hits. Because a lot of times, like we all get stuck up on the actual number itself. And it's easy. Like once you start getting those numbers, and once you start saying, oh man, like 10,000, oh look, 45,000, oh look, 300,000, let's post more of these. You get so caught up in the numbers that you start to lose track of everything. And the only thing you worry about is like, hey, we're not getting 100,000 views anymore. Or like, hey, let's post this concept because, this is the one that gets like, 200,000 views per video. And if you look big picture, it's like, okay, like you look at all these videos and they're getting all these views, yet you're like, yeah, but they're not really bringing any customers. Like we're getting views, we're getting a little bit of followers, but it's not really bringing in any customers. Like we're spending this time posting this content. Our page is getting a lot more traffic to it, like our Instagram page. We're getting comments, but they're not really leading into customers, and that's going to be a lot of people. Like once you start posting content where it's like, oh yeah, like this ASMR satisfying cleaning, like yeah, like it's getting a lot of content on our Instagram page. It's like you'll see like, oh yeah, but it's not really leading into any sales. So that's what I mean by vanity metrics of like, hey, watch out, like don't get so stuck or inundated into these numbers, because like if you take that out, or if you really analyze it and you're like, hey, yeah, like we're getting, 300,000 views per month now on our Instagram page. But what is that, what results are we getting from that? Like what actual tangible results are we getting from, right? Like 300,000 views on your videos per month on Instagram can mean absolutely nothing if it's not actually generating any type of leads or sales or whatever your goals are, right? So be careful about vanity metrics, because although it may seem important, if you remove that, it may not have any impact whatsoever on your business, right? Okay, so set your ego aside. Don't assume you know what's right or that your way is the best way. Have an open mind and adapt when necessary. So basically, it's just over time, if you're gonna do your business for 10 years, things are gonna change. Platforms are gonna change. The ways you distribute content are gonna change. The format of your content is gonna change. And if you want to stay consistent over a long period of time, that also comes with saying, okay, like what is not what's the hottest trend or the newest trend, but it's like which way are people gravitating towards, and do I have to adjust my content in any way to kind of fit this new style, right? I mean, just think about, even YouTube has gone through its phases of like, the everyday vlog style videos, like, the Casey Neistat eras. Then you had like the prank era where just everyone was doing prank channels. You have the ASMR era. You have like like the style of content changes, right? Like it just naturally things change on any platform. That's just the way it is. So it's like not that you have to keep up with the trends, but just hey, like what is the current affair of content at this given point on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and do we have to adjust our content to better meet the needs, or not meet the needs, but to tailor our content better towards the current audience or the current state of what people are watching. And if you're like I'll see a lot of videos on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and I'm like, why are you posting like this? Like this is not the best way to get views, right? And it's not like you're copying anyone, but it's like there is a current status of like how everyone is posting, or like the best practices to follow, and it's like you are misusing this channel right now, like the Instagram, or not Instagram, but whatever channel that you're using. You're misusing the platform, because the way you're posting is just the way you think you should be posting, but you could literally 3x 4x your views or your content just by posting it in the native way it's supposed to be posted. And I know I just said don't get stuck on numbers, but it's not like there's a lot of caveats to everything, right? So even though I just said right now, like you can get 3 to 4x the views on your videos if you change up the format, that doesn't mean you shouldn't optimize and do your best to get more views, or to like tailor your content to whatever you're doing, right? So there's a lot of caveats to everything. It's never just a black and white answer. So anyway, so like the way you're like the detailers that I see post, it's like, dude, this is not how you should be posting, right? Like you're just the way that you should be posting on Instagram, you're doing like probably 8 out of 10 things that you shouldn't be doing, which this is having a direct impact on how many views you get, or how many how many followers that you have will actually see this video. And it's like, yeah, so it's having open mind and saying, hey, how are they doing it, right? Not copying, not saying, hey, I'm just gonna copy that format, but it's like, I'm looking around, and not necessarily other detailers, right? But it's like, if you're following your favorite content creator, another business, like in another industry, it's like, yeah, so what are they doing? What's working for them, right? Or like, hey, what are the different styles of content that I can post, right? So it's not just saying, hey, what's the one thing that I should be doing right now, and that's the only thing that's going to work. But it's like, okay, so this person is posting this type of content, this business is posting this type of content, this person is posting that type of content. So, I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this, and then I'll see what works for me. But don't just say, hey, yeah, well, this is how I do it, and I've never seen anyone else, or I'm not gonna copy anyone else because this is my unique way. But then your unique way is like not the right way to be posting. So always keep an open mind, see what's out there, see what people are doing. Again, no, it's not about copying, but just like what's going on out there and how can I adjust my content to better fit what I'm doing. So a big thing next is that most of the things that you do in your business won't work, right? Not that you're going to give up on them and say, okay, what's on to the next one? But they won't work, or they won't produce the results that you want. Like let's say from day one, right? But what you'll have to do is continue to tweak and optimize to get better results, right? So if you're going to start running, Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, let's just say Google ads, right? And you are running them for your first week. I don't know. Let's say you're spending $200 a week, right? And you're like, man, we got one lead from this. And it's like, well, I guess it doesn't work, right? It's like, no. First of all, over the long run, right? Think about this over the next 9 months, right? You can't judge a 1 week performance over what you could be doing over the next 9 months. So it's like, if you're not getting the results on Google Ads, well, are you gonna let it be like that? Are you not gonna do anything else to try to get better results? It's like, no, of course not. You're gonna tweak, you're gonna tweak your campaign. You're gonna optimize this. You're gonna change that, and maybe over the next 2 weeks, you're like, oh, okay, there we go. Now we got 4 leads, right? And then you're like, okay, so what can we do? Can we change this? Can we change the headline? Can we change the description? Can we change where we're attacking, the geo, the whatever? It's like, okay, now, and it's like over time, you start to build a better campaign. But most of the things, like from the very get-go, things are not going to work out, right? Like if you're posting, if you start a YouTube channel of all things and you start posting videos, it could be your first 10, 15, 20, 50 videos that get no views whatsoever, right? But over the long run, over months and months of work and trying to get better and doing different things, that's when you start to build some type of following, some type of audience, and get some type of traction going. But it's never just off of like, oh yeah, this one post, this 1 week, you're gonna get all your results. Like it's over a long period of time that you're continually tweaking and optimizing whatever you're doing to get better results, whether it's Google Ads, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whether it's, working on the customer's vehicle and you're getting into paint correction or interior cleaning or whatever the case may be. It's like over the long run, you will tweak and optimize whatever it is that you're doing to get better results. But you can't just be like, oh, well, it's been a week, it's been a month, and I haven't got the results that I wanted. I guess I'll, cut this out. Let's move on to the next thing. It's like, that's very short-term thinking. And if you have that mindset, well, then, when are you ever going to get any results from, what you want if you're just going to cut it out that quick? So in order to be consistent, you have to be able to adjust for, again, not just a week, not just a month, but over the long run, right? And I can directly attribute this to what? Search engine optimization, right? It took me 9 months to get ranked on the first page of Google. To my YouTube channel that I started back in 2015. Over so many years, I amassed 100,000 views, 100,000 subscribers, and, I don't know, 500,000 to a million to however many million views per month. Over time, I was able to grow my Instagram account to 26,000 followers. But over time, over seeing, okay, this post didn't do well, this post did well, let me try this, let me try that, let me see this, let me try that. Like it's a lot of just tweaking and optimizing to get better results over time. Not just this one case, not just this one post, but over time, it gets better. So I'll end the video right here. It's about to be 7:45. It's about to be 8 o'clock, so they're about to come in and we're going to start polishing the vehicle. So I'll wrap it up right here. If you want to download the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, or if you want to check out my second YouTube channel, the Proper Care channel, or if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can check the video description box below if you're watching this on YouTube. Or if you're listening to this on audio only, you can check the show notes and all the links will be there as well. Thank you very much for tuning in into another podcast episode. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.